Hi, I'm George Ferguson, and I'm the instructor for this 8-week version of BUS123 Personal Finance. First of all, I'd just like to welcome you to the class and thank you for being a part of it. Please feel free to call me anytime or send me an email if you have questions or you need some help on something. My contact information is on the syllabus and in the course, so feel free to contact me anytime. In this video, we're going to be going over the expectations for the course and making sure that you understand how to navigate it and that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. When you log into the course, which is what you've already done, you'll see that you hit the home page here. And on that home page, you can access the announcements. You'll see the three most current announcements at the top of the home page. You can get to the announcements here or from over here in the navigation menu. And hopefully you learn to start here, okay, which is where you're at as far as the course is concerned. You'll see there on the home page here the course learning objectives and safety guidelines to be used whenever you are on campus as far as COVID is concerned and things. So you're obviously in the Start Here section. Make sure that you read over this section and watch the videos that are in that section. It talks about what are the minimum computer requirements or the suggested ones as far as being successful in online classes. You have a video on how to connect to Day One Access. This is a Day One Access course, so you have access to the textbook and all of the learning materials right off the bat. How to submit assignments in Canvas. How to participate in discussions in Canvas, and how to use Zoom for connecting with me during office hours. So make sure you watch over the videos and review all the information that's in the Start Here section. In the instructor information, you have some of my background along with a picture that scares children and small animals. You have the announcements. Okay, and again, all of the announcements will be there on the homepage. The three most current announcements will be on the top, and you should be receiving the announcements in your email. So be sure to check your email also. You have the syllabus. Okay, so whenever you click the syllabus tab, it will open up the syllabus, and you can see all of the things that are going to be necessary. We'll go over that here in just a bit. The most important tab is right here in the modules. The modules tab is really the most important. And the reason is because everything that you need for each week is within each module. You'll see the first module there has some reflection paper examples. You're going to be doing some papers. And so there are some examples to show you as far as some of the things that you might do. And again, everything that you need will be within the module. The module will have the dates for that week. It will have instructions for the week, and then everything that needs to be done for the week, things like readings, things like that, will be there. So for example, in this case, week 2, you have readings for several chapters, and what it'll do is it will take you to those readings as long as you've connected to Connect. It has discussion boards. It has the any PowerPoint presentations if you want to use those to review for tests and things. It has the Excel sheets that need to be completed for each chapter, reflection papers and exam links right there. So everything that you need for the week is within that module. So be sure that you go to the module and review that to see what all is there. In each module, there's going to be a series of instructions. The instructions are going to tell you what it is that you'll learn within that module, and then shows you by day what things need to be completed. So make sure that you're following through on the instructions for each week, and you can use it basically as a checklist. Here are the things that I've done for each week. And it'll also explain why you're doing the things that you're doing, and then any other instructions and things that are necessary will be within the instructions sheet for each of the modules. So again, the modules is really the most important part because everything you need for the week is going to be there with instructions that shows you what needs to be done by day, and then all of the things that are going to be necessary. You have the discussions tab, which you can access also from the module, or you can get to the discussions from here. And that shows you each of the discussions, and it shows, when they're going to be due and things like that. you have your grades tab. At any point in time, you can click on the grades tab to see where it is that you stand in the class. One of the things I do is try to turn everything around within 24 hours. So in other words, when something is due by Sunday, I do everything I can to get everything graded and feedback to you by the end of Monday. Sometimes it's not going to always work out. It might be Tuesday. The thing is, I do my best to turn grades around as quickly as possible so that you can go out here to grades and you can see exactly what it is that you scored for each assignment and then what your overall grade is. So it's all there. People, that's the people that are in the class. Quizzes, you can access the quizzes or the tests from either here or primarily from the module. Again, everything is in the module that you need. McGraw-Hill Connect, that is where you access the online text and all of the resources that are necessary for the class. Make sure you do the attachment to the Connect book and things like that from here. You have access to your Google Drive if you authorize it. You have your course evaluations. And again, the assignments. All of the assignments can be accessed from here. This is just a listing of all the assignments that need to be done by date, preferably from the modules tab, because again, it makes it much easier to kind of follow through what it is that's been going to be going on for the week. So that is kind of the navigation aspect. Now let's look at the syllabus and the expectations for the course. And let's bump it up a little bit, make it a little easier to read. You have my contact information. My office is over in the Rainier Center, and my office hours are listed. You have the course information as far as when it's going to be happening and what the text is. This is a day one class, so you do have access to everything. The description of the course, and there will be the link that shows that takes you to the course description in the course catalog. Here are the objectives as far as what it is you're going to be accomplishing in this class. Day one program. In other words, here is the information as far as day one and connecting to Connect so that you have access to everything. Now, the way I set things up, the course is based on weeks, and a week goes from Monday through Sunday. All right. Each week, you're going to have a series of things that need to happen where you'll have reading of assigned chapters, and we're going to be going over one or two, mostly two chapters every week. You complete the things that are within Connect that go along with those chapters. You do discussions, and you do any of the exams and reflection papers that are necessary. They're going to be the readings. Now, the readings are going to be due for either Wednesday or Sunday, depending on the chapter that's necessary. Be sure to check the module instructions for which ones are which. 14 readings, okay, for a grand total of 140 points in this class. You're going to have discussion forums. Now, the way I set up discussions, the discussions are the replacement for the face-to-face class activity that we would have. You are required a minimum of your initial post by Thursday and 3 significant responses to others' posts by Sunday. Now, when I say significant, it's more than, I really like your post. So in other words, you're bringing in new information, you're bringing in other articles and things like that. You're helping to further the learning for not only you, also everyone else in the class. You hit the minimum as far as the discussions are concerned, that's average, okay, which will earn you a C grade. To go above average or a C grade, you get involved earlier, you stay involved, you bring in more information, you challenge more people. In other words, you help yourself and others learn at the same time. And again, meeting minimums is average or a C grade. And in order to improve that grade, you get involved and stay involved. They're going to be exams. And the way I'm setting up the exams for the 8-week courses is they will open up at 7 o'clock on Friday. They have to be completed by midnight Sunday. So you have 3 days in there in order to get the exams done. The thing is, once you start, you have 1 hour to get it finished. You can't start and then walk away from it and then come back. It has to be finished within a maximum of 60 minutes. Each exam is going to have 30 questions, all multiple choice, each one worth 2 points. Another thing that I really focus in on is the idea of reflection and discernment, where you step back and you reflect on, okay, so what were the key things that I learned in these chapters? Now, how am I going to use them? You're going to have several reflection papers that need to be completed. The reflection papers will consist of your stepping back and thinking about what you learned and explaining that in detail. And then in detail, how are you going to use those things that you've learned? The reflection papers will also include the Excel sheets that were assigned for each of those chapters. Be sure to follow the instructions within the modules for that. All assignments are due by the prescribed date. I do not accept late work, except in unusual circumstances. If the system crashes, you will make arrangements, okay? You have the right to express your opinion in those discussions. Now, maybe you disagree with someone else, that's okay. That's a part of the discussion. The thing is, people need to be treated with respect and dignity at all times. The instructor in response time, I get back to you typically within 24 to 48 hours. Make sure you're participating in the class. Again, I don't accept late work. You can see how the grade is set up. So in other words, the number of tests, the reflections, the readings, the discussions, time value of money exercise, so the grand total of 515 points that can be earned. And you can see how the grades break out with each of those point spreads. Drop deadlines. If you decide that you need to drop the class, make sure that you're checking the admissions and enrollment dates for drop dates. I do not do faculty initiated withdrawal. And I do not do digital proctoring of the exams or recording of any of the classes. You have your code of conduct. Make sure you're familiar with that. Don't cheat. ADA compliance. If you need accommodations, please make sure that you get in touch with Access Services so that you can get the accommodations that you need to be successful in the class. And we do have some great counselors. So if you find yourself in need of counseling, get in touch with them. There's safety guidelines to be aware of regarding COVID, and then also just overall campus safety as far as emergency procedures and things like this. So look over this information, familiarize yourself with it. Again, you have the technical requirements as far as the computer that you might be using to be successful as far as the class is concerned. This is suggested. You can use a Chromebook for most of it. All right, if you run into problems, let me know. One thing that I do not accept is Apple format papers. Many people are running Macs and they'll be using pages or numbers or something like that to complete the work. Do not submit those to Canvas. Number one, Apple plays well only with Apple. They do not play well with anybody else. Canvas cannot open the Apple formats, and I cannot open the Apple formats. I don't run Apple. So you need to make sure that anything that you submit is primarily in either PDF format or a Microsoft format or open document text format. Scrolling on down, you see the tentative course schedule. Again, this is kind of a summary of everything that's going to be within the modules. It shows what it is that's due when, and what are the concepts that we're going to be covering for each week. So all the information that you need is right there. Again, everything that you need is going to be within the modules that are necessary. Just follow the instructions. Everything is there. If you have questions, please feel free to give me a call. And again, I'm looking forward to working with you for this semester. Again, give me a shout if you have questions. You have my email address and my phone number. And I'll look forward to being part of the class.